Spring is a time of growth and renewal, but not everything that springs forth this season is good for dogs. With a little awareness and a few simple precautions, dog owners can prevent many of the problems that arise with warmer weather and keep their dogs safe and healthy. Joining me now are Richard and Vicki Horowitz from Southern Connecticut Barkbusters. Great to have you. It's wonderful to see you again.
Right.
Very nice to see you again.
It's been a while, right?
Yes, it has.
All right, let's talk about spring. It does cause problems for dogs.
Right. A lot of times people start to get their dogs outside and they roll in the grass and so on, and dogs develop allergies. So you have to watch their paws, and if they start scratching, time to take them over to the vets and make sure everything's okay.
What kinds of allergies?
They can get skin allergies in particular. Those are very popular, unfortunately.
And certain types of dogs have certain types of allergies, right?
Right.
They're more
Yeah,
prone to it?
That's
Yes.
correct.
Yes,
yeah.
and that's why it's so important that you're in contact with your vet and talk to them about any unusual behaviors that you see as far as the itching, chewing on their paws, licking, excessive licking.
And what kind of treatment do they usually get for something like that?
It could be anywhere from a simple medication to allergy shots like humans get. Yeah. But what's also very important this time of year is checking for heartworm and also frontline or flea and tick.
Why do you say this time of the year?
Well, fortunately or unfortunately, we had a very cold winter. So the fleas and ticks were pretty much at bay, but now they'll start coming out again. Heartworm, people should have their dogs checked annually for heartworm because that could be deadly to a dog.
And prevention for the ticks?
It should be done year-long, because what's happening now is that because our winters and because we have so many deer around that carry the deer tick, it's not like it used to be years ago that they would say just do it when the colder weather is for the frost.
Heard that
now
before.
they're really saying to do it year-round to use the flea and tick.
Okay, and so if you find something, what should people do?
Go to your vets. I mean, the most important thing is a lot of people try to take off ticks and things themselves.
And we shouldn't be doing that?
We really shouldn't be doing that. Really should. I mean, you can, but the best thing is to go to a vet, let them look at it, because then you have to have the tick checked to make sure
Analyze and make sure it's not a deer tick and
deer
can cause Lyme disease.
Oh, all right. Just like
you really
people.
should.
Yes,
you really should go to your vets.
yes.
They're the experts on all that.
Okay, I didn't realize that. Okay.
And you know, even if your pets are kept inside, whether it's a dog or a cat, you know, they bring them to groomers to be groomed. They can pick up fleas there as well. So, you know, people often say, oh, my dog or cat are not outdoor pets, but you still should have them checked.
Yeah, the other things to watch about with springtime now is that you have to be careful of pesticides and things in our lawns. A lot of people are now going to start going outside, cleaning up their yards, putting down any kind of fertilizers, and those are very harmful to dogs. They have to make sure they at least dry for 24 hours. There's more and more companies are using more natural products so that they are not harmful to animals, but people don't realize
well,
that.
How harmful is it to animals? What does
it could be toxic.
It
could be toxic.
Yeah.
And the other thing, if you are a gardener, and a lot of times people like to garden this time of year, they're raking their lawns. If the dog is outside watching you.
Mine's with me all the time when
okay,
I'm doing that.
well, then you might call and you say, gee, my dog started digging. Dogs will watch us and learn from our routine. So if you're raking the lawn, all of a sudden you see the dog scratching at the lawn, or if you're digging up, you know, to plant flowers, and then the dog starts digging, that's probably why. They learn from us.
Okay, so they learn from us, but how do you stop them from doing that?
Can
you
them in
teach
the house.
them anything?
No, you actually should not have them watching you when you're doing those types of activities, or have toys and have them being entertained while you are doing those things, because a lot of problem behaviors we don't realize we encourage by teaching our dogs these things or miscommunicating to them. So sometimes it's not good for them to, and it's more prone to dogs who are diggers, the beagles, and there's certain breeds that are more, the hounds, that are more into digging up lawns and getting into things. But then there's also plants we have to think about too. Any holly plants, any kind of bushes that have berries on them are poisonous to our animals too. So these are a lot of the outside dangers that we have to be careful of.
That's a lot to think about with spring for dogs.
Yes.
Now, specifically, what are some of the things that what are some of the common mistakes people make with their dogs in the springtime?
Well, one of the issues that we have to think about is dog parks. You know, a lot of people, as soon as the weather gets out, they want their dogs outside. They want to bring them to dog parks, and we have a lot of clients that will say to us, well, should I bring my dog to a dog park? Every dog is different. You really have to assess your dog's personality. If it's a very timid, nervous dog, it probably won't be comfortable with a lot of other dogs around.
Why is that? It's because they're smaller, maybe?
Well, they become more fearful. Other dogs can sense that. They can gang up on that dog. A dog has to be comfortable in new situations. So if you're going to bring your dog to a dog park, then the first thing you should do is go there at quiet times, check it out, see what kind of people are there, kind of dogs are there. When you bring your dog, you go there for very short periods of time so that you give your dog a chance to adjust, and you watch his body language. He goes in there and he sees another dog and he doesn't look comfortable, it's time to go.
Well, also,
go ahead.
Puppies, you should not bring a puppy to a dog park.
Why is that?
Well, first of all, you have to make sure they have all their shots first. Second, puppies are
rambunctious.
Yes, rambunctious, thank you. And if they go to a dog park and you let them off leash and they have a traumatic experience, that could affect them for years, okay?
Dogs
So you
remember
want them to
traumas.
develop, you want them to be comfortable, you need to socialize them, but not necessarily at a dog park. Wait till they're older, a little closer to a year old before you start taking them to a dog park.
Right. Yeah. And
You want it
dog
to be a
parks, yeah.
positive experience.
It's just, they're just like kids. You have to know your dog's personality before you
Exactly.
take them out
Exactly
to a
right.
dog park.
Yes,
Right,
yes.
right. And you have to be really careful when you go to a dog park. You don't bring toys, you don't bring treats. You take your dog off leash as soon as you get into a dog park, because keeping a dog on leash doesn't allow it to
Fight or flight.
And so it tends to get more anxious. So you have to let your dog off right away, and then you have to watch your dog, just like you said with children. If you're not watching your dog, they can get into something very quickly, and then it can be a problem if they get into a fight.
And if they do get into a fight, you certainly don't want to get in the middle
You
and
don't want
separate
that.
them.
Absolutely
No,
not.
No, no.
So much to think about when spring arrives.
That's right.
It is.
Vicki and Richard.